Howdy, Sisterships. It's tea time
with Kat.
and Mar.
Welcome to our first episode. Today we are going to dive into the spirit of two iconic women. One, Dolly Parton, and two, a unique take on Mother Mary that we found in a book that Margarita discovered and passed along to me, which I thoroughly enjoyed and want to take you down a unique perspective of who Mother Mary really was. So let's get started. You want to talk about the book first, or do you want to talk about Dolly first?
Let's talk about the book first, because
Okay.
I think that was kind of an exciting thing there. So part of one of the themes here, you have coincidence or synchronicity. And before, the way that I stumbled upon this is that I was listening to a podcast, Next Level Soul. Hi, Alex. If you watch this, hi. And I didn't know, because I wasn't paying attention. Like, I stepped away. I was doing stuff. I was making hoops. I made 7 hoops actually before I started watching this podcast. And then I heard him say, "Thank you, Marguerite. Thank you so much, Marguerite." And then I was like, "Oh, I wonder if her middle name is Mary." Because my name is Margarita, Marguerite, Maria, Mary. And her name is also Marguerite Mary. And I thought, how interesting is that? And then she's also created a 7 Sisters organization,
A
and
school.
that a 7 Sisters school,
Yeah.
which really, and then I'm like, oh my goodness gracious, that's interesting, because I just made 7 hoops. So I think I need to get her books. It's just that simple. That's what motivated me. So it was that synchronicity of, oh, we have the same name basically. Hers is in English and mine's in Spanish. Her background's Italian, my background is Spanish. And anyhow, so I got the book, and it just really helped me remember a lot of things.
And then it was funny because I was actually actively going to therapy at the time, and one of the last sessions that I had with my therapist, he made the comment that I needed to mother myself the way that I mother everyone else. And I just kind of chuckled, and who mothers themselves like that. And I was talking to Margarita about it, or Margarita about it, and she said, "Hey, I want you to read this book." And then I'd never seen, or when I was growing up, the version of Mary that I had was that she was this docile, timid, that God made her pregnant, like she was this virgin, and then all of a sudden she's pregnant and her whole life changes, right? But never that she was a strong woman, that she was a priestess, that she was a healer, none of that stuff. I never had any idea until reading this book.
And that she chose the process. She not only chose the process, it wasn't that God did it to her. She chose the process of this genesis of creating this life within herself as a mystic tradition that has been carried on by women, or was carried on by women prior to her. And she was
The
born
womb
in that
chakra.
tradition. Yeah, she was born in that tradition. And then she gave birth in that tradition. And in that sense, women can bring life without the need of a man. And it's possible to do so, and it was time. And so we're learning, we're just starting to delve into that. We're just scratching. There's more books that Marguerite has written that we're going to get into, but this is a great place to start. Another thing that I really loved about learning in here was that Mary may not have been so much a name as much as a title. It's a priestess title, and so that many of the Marys are connected to each other, and that Yeshua was surrounded not just by Mary Magdalene and Mary his mother, but a third Mary, an unknown Mary. And at one point she mentions in the book that any one of us can become a Mary by choosing to embody that energy of the mother. And it is that we mother ourselves, we take care of ourselves, and through taking care of ourselves, that self-care then overflows into those around us, instead of us giving to others, always giving to others. Does that make sense? Right?
Yeah. And be honest, I'm only about halfway through the book right now, but I wanted to talk about it and I want to share it because I know there are a lot of women, my generation, that you either have a good relationship with your mom or you don't. And a lot of us, some of our moms are no longer here, and there's no rectifying that. But one part of the book, and it says that because you're always taught to have a relationship with God, have a relationship with Jesus. But in this book, it's telling you to have a relationship with Mother Mary, to heal yourself through a relationship with her. That she, if you need to know how to mother,
Mm-hmm.
she's who
Just to
you.
tap into that.
Yeah.
Well, and it's interesting to me because I do come from Latin America. I'm half Colombian and half Cuban, first generation American. And in Latin America, Mother Mary is very much revered, and in other parts of the world, Mother Mary is very much revered, is a larger part of the story, but still presented as the mother, as the virgin, as the timid. She's still presented as demure and
Mm-hmm.
pure,
Sure.
not necessarily as a leader who was in charge of all the women apostles that there were, all of the women followers, and that while Yeshua was having his Last Supper, Mother Mary, his mother, the Theotokos, was having her supper, preparing the female apostles for what was to come, because it was some mighty things that were going on. And she assisted in his resurrection. She helped him in that process. She was in the tomb with him, is what we're learning. And it's so very interesting to get to see her presented as a leader of the church, and that after his passage, after he went on and whatever, there's different ways that goes. And that's another thing she speaks about, is that there's so many. Anyway, we're not going to go into that part, but the main
Your
part is that,
beliefs are your beliefs, and
yeah,
we're not trying
we're
to.
not trying to change that, but
Mm-mm.
she was a leader in the church, and she was the one who ensured that his message became, like, that's the foundation of the church, and Christianity. And so it's not just about Christ consciousness, it's about Mary consciousness, because he was teaching what she taught him.
Mm-hmm.
So really, by working together with Mary and Yeshua, now we're bringing together the divine feminine and the divine masculine from this mother son perspective, but also a partnership, because she was his mother and son, but very early on, Yeshua became an independent person who had things to teach. So she recognized early on that she was her partner. She was his partner. He was her partner. She was his partner. She was his guide to help him, support him on his journey, on his mission of what he was here to
You
do.
know what I wonder? They don't. When Jesus went off to study and all of that stuff, and they don't talk about his life then. There's no record of his life then. I wonder if she was with him, like if she was a guide to take him to, like, okay, we're gonna go here and study this, and we're gonna go here and study that, and
Definitely when it comes to the traditions of Egypt, for
yeah.
sure. Yeah. Mary was a priestess in the Temple of Isis. Mary Magdalene was a priestess in
She
the
was
Temple of Isis.
selected more than just for being a
Yes,
virgin. I
no,
mean, there
she had a special training from childhood. She was
mhm,
prepared
to raise him the
to do
way
this. Yeah.
the fit to be
So
fit.
really what we're doing, we're not giving y'all a book report at all. We're really just wanting to get y'all interested in this, so
Yes,
that for
and to
yourself.
read it.
And so we'll put a link in the description, so that you can more easily find The Secret Life of Mother Mary, Divine Feminine Power for Personal Healing and Planetary Awakening by Marguerite Mary Rigoglioso, PhD, Dr. Marguerite Mary Rigoglioso. And
And
yes,
her story too.
her personal story and her
Yeah.
journey is really interesting as
Hmm.
well, because that's how she starts us out. Um, and she lost her mother early in life. So that mothering oneself has been a part of her journey. Mothering, that's been a part of my journey.
My journey.
I think a
Just
lot of us
recently.
had mothers that didn't have good mothers. So they didn't know what they were doing, and they did the best that they could with what they had. And it wasn't necessarily the best. That's also why at some point we're going to talk about childhood emotional neglect, and Running on Empty and Running on Empty No More. It's another couple books that are really helpful for talking about this generational emotional neglect that ends up putting us in situations where we just don't know what our feelings are. We don't know how to respond. We don't know how to react. Nothing was role modeled for us well, and that's okay. It wasn't done on purpose. It wasn't deliberate. But once we understand what skills we were lacking, then we can work on them because they're skills. And that's the beauty about skills, is that they can be learned. But that's for another episode. So for this one, The Secret Life of Mother Mary.
Yeah.
Um,
Definitely read it and just
check it
see
out.
what it,
Check
and
it
you
out.
can say, that's not for me. I don't believe in that hocus pocus or
Yeah,
whatever.
you
But
know,
all it is to just get you engaged,
if
take you down, like make you think outside the box.
if anything, it's wonderful as a reflection to look at it and recognize. Because if anything, look at Mary as an archetype, as a guide, not of someone who's demure and fully self-sacrificing, but of someone who is strong, who is a leader, who takes care of her community,
Yeah.
and rise up to be a Mary who empowers other women and men to be Mary, to embody that Mary consciousness as much as we each embody that Christ consciousness, and integrate that divine masculine and feminine together within our psyches to really balance each other out and balance ourselves out, and work with that Christed consciousness of divinity, of recognizing the divinity in all things. And the more that we recognize the divinity around us, the more we see it and the more we feel it, and the more divine life becomes. And even despite all of the chaos and all the terrible things and all the challenges, we're able to gild it with our perspective. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, and and another thing, like, I wish I would have had this book when I was younger,
Oh, of
right?
course, me
So
too.
like, and because we're never told these things, and
No.
it's not even a possibility. And then I didn't have the best mom, so I just knew that when I was a mom, that I was just going to do everything the opposite and hope that that was the right thing to do.
And I just didn't become a mother. I went the
Yeah.
path of the auntie mother, and that's when we'll start getting into some Carl Jung and the auntie
Mm-hmm.
mother, because I wanted to switch the auntie mother to an auntie mother. Just because we've chosen to not have children doesn't mean that we're not loving, nurturing, kind, caring people that have a heart. But when we mother others, we smother others,
We do.
and
And
that's
that
the
was me.
thing.
I was a smotherer.
And
I
then
freely
and
admit
I
it. I
think
smothered my kids.
and I smothered my husband. I smothered my partner, and I think in part because we want to give to others what we didn't get.
Yeah,
So
you want
then
them to have everything that you didn't have, and you're going to
exactly,
do everything you possibly
exactly,
can to give them that.
yes,
And I was exhausted.
it is. It's exhausting because
And
you're just giving and giving and giving and giving.
yeah.
So I like this metaphor. So as we have this tea, we have these beautiful Dolly tea gifts. So also synchronicity, metaphor,
Well, we're
synchronicity.
moving on to Dolly, so
Well,
let's,
we'll get
yeah.
to that synchronicity or coincidence. This tea, these teacups, have that cat here has had for over a year say I love Dolly and raised on Dolly, and we didn't even know that we were going to do the tea theme. We already had chosen Dolly. We didn't know we were going to do the tea theme. But talking about tea, I like to use this metaphor that we are all tea kettles and tea cups. But if we are surrounded by only cups that we're always giving, we're always pouring into, we're always
Mm.
pouring into, we never get anything back. And a lot of times, if the teacup is too close to us, the tea is so hot, it's rejected. So
Yeah.
not only are we pouring out into them, it's just getting thrown back in our faces or spat out. And we're like, oh, why are you rejecting my tea? I'm just trying to love you.
Oh, and just in case you guys haven't followed either, T is what we consider time,
Energy
energy,
and
and
attention.
attention. And so those are things that you give either into other people or projects or things or whatever, but you either invest yourself
Mm-hmm.
those three ways.
Yeah.
And we came up with, is it worth your tea?
And I also have been for years been working with the idea of finding the tea cha ings, because cha is tea in Chinese, and cha, another acronym, is cultivating harmonious awareness. So the tea cha ings, those things that teach us, that inspire us. Yes. So tea kettles and teacups. If we are tea kettles who feed ourselves, who role model self care, then we become overflowing kettles. And then the cups around us are able to receive. But not only that, we're role modeling. And then those cups learn to become kettles themselves. And then they can feed themselves. And now they're overflowing. And now the tea is pouring back and forth, right? But also sometimes the tea kettle is too close. So we need the tea to come from somebody further away. And that's what we're hoping to be for some families or couples or people or friends or whatever, that tea that's a little bit further away, that you can hear the perspective, because it's not coming from somebody so close that it feels like criticism.
That it's hot, it burns.
Yes, because when it comes from people that we love who are close to us, because we are wanting to share something that we find helpful for us, it might be taken as mothering, because the person might think that we're criticizing them, saying, oh, right,
you're doing it wrong.
So you're doing it wrong. And it's not that. It's like, no, we're just like, this helped me, so maybe this helps you. Instead of a direct, like the lesson directly, like, this is the lesson that I got here, let me give it to you straight, because that tea is just too hot. And people need to digest their tea in their own space and time. So yeah, so with that,
and some people just may not like your tea.
That's true,
and that's okay.
That's okay. I know I am not everybody's cup of tea.
Yeah.
That's taking some time
All right,
to learn.
let's move on to Dolly.
Dolly. All right, and so
look at this gorgeous candle that we got at y'all's gift shop in Marble Falls. Shout out. They have all these cute candles, cozies. It's in one of the booths.
Small business is Illuminidal. And yes, because Dolly is an idol. I mean, honestly, what a wonderful role model. What a wonderful, admirable woman to emulate. Not only an smart businesswoman from a very early age in life, retaining her music rights, so that all of her music, that's hers. That's why she's got the money that she's got. And on top of that, many business ventures and written books and like,
movies.
Like, she's been in movies.
But here's the thing, though. She writes these iconic songs that even other people sing that you had no idea that she wrote them.
Yes.
She's that amazing.
Yes.
And then you find out, oh, Dolly wrote that?
Yeah. Wow. Yeah. And she's in multiple halls of fame. She's turned down awards. She's such a humble person. She started out helping in her community, in her county, and then it spread out to global. Her book foundation.
And the fires. She donated a lot of money for the fires.
She's done so much.
COVID research.
I mean, honestly, like, you guys can look her up on Wikipedia.
We're not going to sit here and lecture you on Dolly Parton.
Dolly, but really just to say, wow, wouldn't it be awesome if more wealthy people decided to be wealthy like Dolly? Because she's got $650 million to her name, but y'all, she could be a billionaire.
Well, and then get this. So, like, I think I read Jeff Bezos, I think, gave her $100 million. Why couldn't he have given that to like a charity that needs $100 million or several? Just divvy it up.
Because she distributes books.
I know
she gets books all over the world, and he started out selling books. So probably that's a little bit of it there. But also, I think because he knows maybe that the money's going to go somewhere good. There's a lot of foundations. What I'm trying to say is
there needs to be
more of that.
More.
Oh, yes. Yeah. No, there definitely needs to be more of that. We should have given her 2.5. So 250. But anyhow, so we just think she's such a fabulous human.
Fine human being.
Fine human being.
And what I love about her is she is unapologetic.
Yes.
She is herself.
She's been herself. She supported LGBTQ rights. She wears
gaudy makeup and doesn't care. Big eyelashes, big boobs, all that. This is who she is.
Well, and I think part of it, though, is that she knew that if she presented as a strong masculine woman in her time, she might not have been able to get as far as she did.
Right,
but playing the dumb blonde with the big titties, you're not going to suspect her. She's going to be the last one that you suspect in the room to be the smartest
savvy businesswoman.
Yes.
Yep.
And so she worked it. She worked it for sure. And it's just fabulous that she's done so much good.
Dolly Parton.
Dolly.
You're
raised
an
on
amazing
Dolly.
woman, and we aspire to be like you.
And speaking of synchronicity or coincidence, when I was doing the research on Dolly, I didn't know that she'd written children's books and done children's
Yes.
songs. And one of the children's books that she wrote in 2009 is called I'm a Rainbow, talking about feelings. And I wrote a children's book in 2014 called Your Body is a Spaceship, based on the Pressure Rainbow, which is a book that I wrote about pressure, communicating pressure. And it's about talking about feelings. So it's that nervous system regulation, being aware of where we are on this spectrum, recognizing if we're calm, blue, green, we're more active. Gold is like,
she showed me her book. It's really cute.
And
if you've got a child on the spectrum, y'all should check out her book.
yeah, I'll be putting that info in there as well, so that way y'all can link to that, because I have the books for free on PDF just to make them easy resources for people. They technically they need an update, but that's okay. It's got enough of what you need to still be a useful tool for you. Oh, all right. And then, so then we also wanted to talk about Robin.
Robin, yes.
Robin with the bird's nest. So Dolly is not from Texas. Dolly's from Tennessee. And Dolly is also a crone. She has her crown. We're taking back the word crone. Some people think it means decrepit, old, gross witch lady, but crone means crown. It means that you've earned your crown. And so this is an awe-inspiring crone, and Robin is also on her way. I mean, she's croning pretty good. She's 70 years old. She's in her 70s. She started the Bird's Nest in 2022. She got
so smart.
Yes, she bought her first tiny house in 2017, and after a bit recognized the value of investing her 401k in land instead of into other things, and put 14 slabs on her lot. She put in the water, the sewage, everything that's needed, got the zoning taken care of, and created a community for women.
Only women.
Yeah.
And the cool thing about it is you have to be like, you get interviewed by everybody in the park. You can't just move in. Everybody has to agree that this is a person that we want to live with.
Even though she's the owner, she considers it an egalitarian community where every woman has a say, because they take care of each other. They take each other to doctor's appointments. There's one of the women has a son, and they help take care of her kid. If she can't, if he's sick and he can't go to school, they'll watch him while she's at work. That kind of situation.
We need more places like this.
Yes. And
we really do.
In some ways there are more places like this, which is what
more
we're
and
talking
more.
about. Yes, we're talking about more intentional community. So that's what Robin represents, is intentional community, and we want to talk about that. There's like so many variations of intentional community, of how people can do that. Like in Robin's case, she bought 5 acres of land. She developed 3 of those acres so that she could leave 2 of them for the wildlife. And that's really beautiful too, to think about that as when you're buying property. If you have the ability to buy property and resources, buy property, develop part of it, and then keep part of it for nature, because we need wildlife spaces. Not just spaces for humans. And then when you create your spaces for humans, right? Small, yes, have community gardens, have small footprints when it comes to your living situation, and spend more time outside. Have community kitchens, so that
I'm going to throw this intention out there because we're talking about it.
Yeah,
I have been trying to buy this lot next door to us that's empty since that house burned down. I want to make a community garden over there for the whole neighborhood.
Yeah.
I wrote her a letter. She hasn't responded yet, but if y'all can put those intentions out there, I'd really appreciate it. I want to purchase the lot next door.
Yes.
Yeah.
Lovely.
I know. I really do. It would be fun to have people, and it's not an intentional community yet, but by starting a garden, you get to know your neighbors better.
And that's important too, because there's different kinds of intentional community in the sense. So you've got your intentional community where people go in as a group, right?
And they buy the property and
buy the
develop,
property, or you can get a neighborhood, there's so, and we're going to be featuring some intentional communities as we go along.
I want to, my dream would be buy some land and start a tiny home community. That would be awesome.
I have also had that dream since I was 23. I wasn't, for me, it wasn't buying the land, for me it was inheriting.
Well, yes, land. You thought you were going to inherit.
And then that kind of held me back a little bit for a few years, I think. But honestly, everything happens for a reason. Life is the way that it is. lifestyle that I got to live because of my particular parameters gave me the time and space that I needed to heal my nervous system, to come up to discover tools that could help me, that could help other people, that I wouldn't have, right? Just everything happens the way. Coincidence or synchronicity? We don't know. So many things kind of come together.
I'm kind of in
Like
the.
here's another thing that's interesting about Kat over here. Her middle name is Jolene.
Yes. Ironically, there's a whole story behind that. So my mom's name was Catherine. So as a junior, my name is Katie. It's not short for Catherine. My name is just Katie. And then she named me Jolene. So I am the true version of a um, traveling salesman is my daddy. And him and my mom got together, and ironically, he was married and had children. Um, and my mom thought it would be funny to name me Jolene because she didn't get the man in the end, but she named the daughter from the cheating man
Mm-hmm.
Jolene. That's
Well, and then I thought it's funny because years ago I fell into limerence with the most delightful little human by the name of Jolene. And I changed the lyrics to Jolene
yes,
because I was like, that's just so
it
terrible.
is
Poor
terrible. So
Jolene.
I kind of feel cursed, because
Well,
my
and
mom gave
so,
me that
well,
name
and then
right.
I changed mine. It's like Jolene, 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 Jolene. I'm begging of you, please come take my hand. Jolene, 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 Jolene. You can have my heart, you know you can. So it's like, yay.
Yay.
So there we go. That's, yeah. It's like, because poor Jolene's, all the Jolene's in the
I
world. Oh
know.
my goodness
It was a great
gracious.
song, but when there's a story behind
What?
it,
It's just, oh my, oh my.
Yeah.
So yes, that's our coincidence, is their synchronicity. Who knows? But also when later on, when time went on, and the things that kind of brought us together has a kind of a bit of a Jolene vibe to it in a sense.
It does.
And from the beginning, it was a little different, and it's funny because
Well, you can't really. So Jolene was written about a woman who wanted to take her man, but Carl Dean, her
mm-hmm,
husband, he didn't actually cheat or
yeah, he
anything.
didn't know.
But you know, I don't consider what happened between Ian and I cheating because we were separated
Oh, for
at the
sure.
time.
No, as I for myself. So here's my story in a sense: is that when Ian and I met, I recognized that I was in a place where he was 4 years. It was
Mhm.
just like I had been 4 years prior where he was at, and I was the one who was the cheater. I was the one who was unfaithful. And I told myself a story so that I didn't think that I was a cheater, so that I would be okay with it, because I needed something that was missing, and the universe provided it for me, and therefore I appreciated it because it was magical. Every one of those every one of those experiences was highly magical, and I was so very grateful that I got to fall in love with these people, because I'm able to fall in love with multiple people because I'm polyamorous. And had I had a partner who was more available, emotionally, physically, all of the things that he's not hadn't been able to do because of physical health problems,
Mhm.
depression, chronic pain. When you're married to someone, this is something else that I think a lot of spouses can relate to. If you're married to someone who lives in chronic pain, you don't have a partner who can be a full present partner for you, and you don't want to just abandon your partner because they're not a you know
They're
is
not themselves.
they're not themselves, and they would be a better partner if they had more bandwidth to be a better partner, but they don't have the bandwidth, so therefore you're put in this position where you're like, okay, well, what do I do? And and then sometimes, and life turns around and things, and then over time I realized that it's like, no, it isn't that it's sexual connection that I want so much, as just connection, as authentic, genuine connection, as authentic sharing time and experiences with each other, as sharing lives with each other, but definitely affection and connection and chemistry. But it doesn't have to go to the
Be
physical
sexual.
place.
Yeah,
Exactly.
physical. Well,
And
you kind of,
yeah,
I mean, you want touch,
you
like you
want
want
touch, but it doesn't
hugs,
have to
and
be like the parts,
but not
the
sexual.
bits.
Yeah,
We can keep the root chakra out of it,
yeah.
basically. It's like
I
keep
think you
it.
get more out of a relationship when you do.
Exactly, if we keep it from the solar plexus up.
Hmm.
It's really, honestly, it seems like it's just better that way. And I find that I am a better human. Prior to like getting married was good for me because I was so sexually oriented that I didn't see people. Like I saw people as like, are we can I could I potentially, do I
Do you
have a
want to
chance?
smash or not?
Yeah, basically, do I want to smash you?
Or do I want you to
Not.
smash
And then
me?
exactly, or and if I know, and then like, would you be willing to smash me? And then no, and then that's
Do you think it
terrible.
was more of like an achievement thing?
For me, honestly, it was validation, and I didn't realize it. It was
Oh,
because I didn't know how to validate myself. And so sexual performance, fire performance, singing, all form of performance was a form of validation for me. And it wasn't until I got married that I realized that, because it went away, everything went, even the sex. And I was like, oh, and whenever I tried to spin fire, I mean, not even spinning fire, just practicing, it felt like I was moving through mud. And I usually move like with so much fluidity, like with so much ease and grace. And it was like, and when I tried to sing, my
yeah.
voice was thin and weak, and I didn't laugh anymore. And I cried almost every day. And I lost myself. I lost myself. And to get back to myself, I was like, universe, I needed help. And so the universe sent me friends who provided me affection and attention and helped me get back to loving myself. And in the process, I also recognized that what a lot of these guys had in common was very much in touch and in tune with their feminine energy. They were more in touch with their feminine energy than the average guy. And I was like, maybe I'm actually yearning for more feminine connection. And what's been interesting is that then coming back around to Secret Life of Mother Mary, sometimes wondering if this hasn't been the relationship
That you've
with a
been yearning
woman that I've been
for.
yearning for all
Yes.
along,
Yes.
is that deeper relationship with the divine feminine, that deep relationship, the partnership, not so much with the mother, but with the partner that is the sacred feminine,
I can see that.
right?
I
The sacred
Well,
bride.
and that's kind of how I felt when I was reading it, because I was like, when Dr. Downing told me I needed to mother myself, I'm like, okay, because I consider myself a very loving, caring mother, but how do I do that to a grown ass woman? How do I love a grown ass? What does this mean? I don't know what this means because I never had it.
Mm-hmm.
But I am really looking forward to having a relationship with Mary.
Mm-hmm.
And
And becoming a Mary, embodying that Mary
yes,
energy.
yes,
Yeah.
I want to embody that energy.
Yeah.
You know, I think I feel like if I do, then I'm just be stepping up my mothering. You know what
Indeed.
I
Well,
mean?
and it's that self mothering, because it's taking it to that next
Which
level
again
where
goes
it's
to
like,
spilling
yes,
over into the
yes,
cups.
yes. And the way that I see it is that, yes, when we spill over, it spills over into our family, and then that fills so much that then it spills over into our community,
Mm-hmm.
and then it spills over into our townships, into our states, into our nation. And like Greta is such a wonderful example when it comes to, she's a maiden, an admirable woman to emulate, who,
Norris,
like, no, Greta Thunberg.
oh,
Thunberg. So sorry, I mispronounced the last name. But she started as an activist when she was 12 years old.
oh yeah, you showed me her
Yes.
the other day.
And she,
She's like 22 now or something like that.
yes,
Yeah.
and she goes, like, she speaks out and does all over the world. She's looking at so many causes, and there's even, they labeled it the Greta effect, because the things that Greta looks at, that she brings attention to, more people pay attention to,
Mm.
because she's saying, hey, look at this. Recently she went to Afghanistan. No, not Afghanistan. Gaza. She was trying to get to Gaza, to get people aware of what's happening in Palestine. and just the situation there and how terrible it is. And they were just trying to get medicine there. There's doctors that were working there that have been completely banned because they were smuggling in baby formula and diabetes and insulin. And they're like, it's terrible that I have to smuggle in baby formula and insulin, and now I can't go and help at all anymore because of that. But so just that thing that when we take care of ourselves, we can go, we have the resources and bandwidth to give beyond and take things to another level of support. But we have to support ourselves first, because if we don't take care of ourselves, then we can't. We just can't. So with that, I'm going to do a little self-care, share a little simple self-care that we can do sitting down.
Okay.
Because this is kind of fun to know that we don't even have to stand up, because I know a lot of people work at desks all day and you're kind of stuck like this. So what we're going to want to do,
I'm that person.
Yeah, actually, exactly.
But I have my hoop in my office.
That's good. It's good.
Hip.
So we're going to pretend that we have a hoop, and we're going to hold this little sphere in our hands, and we're just going to make little circles. And as we do this, we're going to take nice slow inhales through our nose. And as we exhale through our mouth, we're going to go, ah. Then we change our direction.
Oh, I had already changed it.
That's all right. That's fine. Change it whenever you want to. So making that awing sound is important because it stimulates your vagus nerve. The breathing stimulates the vagus nerve and everything. So now we're going to bring our little sphere up and bring it from side to side so we can get our hands over our heads, because sometimes people forget to put their hands over their heads. And we breathe again. And now we're going to add in some laughter yoga. And so with the next exhale, we're going to laugh it out. So we're going to inhale in, and then we're going to hold it. So we're going to hold it, and then we're going to shake. We're going to do jazz hands, and then we're just going to wiggle our bodies, and then kick our feet, and then kick our feet, and there we go. And there we are. And so that's a little simple thing that you can do throughout the day. And if you're
might get me fired.
Well, if you if you can't laugh out loud, you can laugh inside your head.
There. Yeah.
And just breathe.
That might get me fired too.
Silent. It's all just in your head. If you can keep it in. Okay,
all right.
So
it is time for a dance party, and I got to pick this year, this episode. So the song I have been listening to almost every morning getting ready for work. I love it. It's like my jam right now. It makes me so happy. It puts me in a good mood. It's called Step Into My Power by Modern Headspace.
Nice. And we're going to contact Modern Headspace and see if we can...
Oh, hold on. I got to connect to my... Why isn't it connected to my Bluetooth? Let's go.
We're getting there. It's happening.
Sorry, guys.
That's okay.
I should have been getting
moving. I'm just going to... We're just going to...
Is it on?
Is it on? What's it gonna do? We're gonna have a dance party with you in a moment or two. Dance party with Kat and Mar.
All right, here we go.
Here we go. We're gonna have to do like seated dance party because we don't have enough room. That's right.
So imagine getting ready in the morning and fixing your hair. Into my power like, hey, today's gonna be a good day. I'm in alignment with the new me. Today's gonna be a good day. I'm in alignment with the new me. Today's gonna be a good day.
I'm in alignment with the new me. I finally figured out just who I am and what I want. It's time that my potential makes up for the time I lost. Chasing dreams that weren't mine, planted in my subconscious mind. Always felt like I was wrong, but I was just learning what's right. And I've taken the time to sit and wonder, what am I doing here with all of life's wonders? Journal and meditate, vibrate higher and resonate, focus deliberately and create a life I don't want to escape.
Hey, today's gonna be a good day.
I'm in alignment
With the new me. Today's gonna be a good day.
I'm in
Alignment with the new me.
Today's gonna be a good day. I'm in alignment
With the new me.
Today's gonna be a
Good day. Oh,
I'm
I'm with the new me.
I'm feeling good. I just walked out of the shower, finally jump into my new life and step into
My power like A. Today's gonna be a good day. I'm in alignment with the new me. Yay!
Yay! Well, we'll see y'all in a couple weeks.
Who's our
wait.
next?
So, we will be featuring our admirable woman to emulate coming up.
Yes.
Is Miss Betty White.
Betty White.
Because,
yes.
Oh my God, y'all. Betty White.
And then I think I want to do Colleen for our local.
Okay. All right.
If you guys don't know Colleen, she started the Library Seed Bank in Austin and is just a hero to me. And yeah, I want you guys to know about her. So I guess we'll see you next week.
Yeah, and music, Iniko, which I don't know if Iniko might be so big by now that I might not be able to play her for the dance party. Play them for the dance party. Pardon me, Iniko, them for Iniko. Beautiful they them. And we'll see about that. But if anything, I'm going to tell y'all my beautiful Iniko story and then link you to some Iniko music at the very least.
There you go.
So that'll
we can put even if we can't, maybe we can play just like a little tidbit and dance.
Or maybe, I don't know.
We have to look into that.
We'll figure it out. I know that they've posted stuff on TikTok, and like maybe we can play one of the acapella things that they've posted just so that you get a sense of this gorgeous voice. So much talent, but also their message is amazing. And I really love one of their newest songs, God Body, is about embracing your God body and taking in. And this is about embracing our God body and integrating our God body.
Y'all read this book.
Yes.
I'm serious. Yeah. Broaden your mind. Read the book. All right?
Don't be scared. It's okay. It's okay.
See you next time.
Bye. Have a good night, y'all.